Hey everyone, I want to do these videos because they're therapeutic for me, and to know that people are out there that truly understand. That's what helps me. That's probably been the thing that has helped me the most out of anything. Knowing that I can talk about my generalized anxiety disorder, my panic disorders, or my current panic attack, talking about it and knowing people are out there that just they get it because they have been in that situation. That's what helps me 100%. Well, I should say 100% for that time. It helps me. I mean, I've been suffering from all this for so many years now, but I want to focus on panic attacks and panic disorder in this video. So I woke up about 45 minutes ago, and within a minute of being awake, I got a panic attack. Now, there are times that I literally woke up out of my sleep as I was having a panic attack. It's almost like I was having a panic attack in my sleep or my dream. I don't know. And I woke up having one. And that's horrible. So horrible to have that happen. But in this case, I woke up. I have no idea why I woke up. I only slept for about 3 hours. I woke up, and within a minute I had a panic attack. And I knew it was going to happen the moment I woke up, although I wasn't in like an active panic. But I knew it was going to happen. And for me, everyone's different. But I'm going to talk about me, and I know a lot of people, the things that I express, and just, my symptoms of panic and just all this stuff. I know a lot of people can relate to that, and if you can, just, comment below and, join the Facebook group, because it just helps so much to have support. It's helped me a lot more than therapists have helped me. And I'm not saying don't go to therapists. Everybody's different and what works for them. It's just in my case, therapy has never helped me as far as all of, this anxiety stuff goes. And I'll tell you why, but let me first tell you about my panic. So I woke up this morning, and like I said, within a minute, I got a panic attack. I knew it was going to happen when I woke up because for me, my anxiety level is always high. But it doesn't mean that I'm always having a panic attack. But I've been under a lot of stress lately, so I would say my anxiety level is always at about a 5, just when I'm quote-unquote calm in my current life, in my situations. It's always at about a 5 anxiety level. And as sad as it sounds, that's a good day for me currently. So usually a physical symptom will happen to me first, and that triggers my panic attacks. And maybe not everyone gets that, but I've had panic attacks for so long now. Panic disorder and panic attacks are different, and I'll explain that in a second too. But I've had panic attacks, panic disorder for so long now that I recognize when it's going to happen. So at least I know that it's a panic attack happening, and I can recognize when it's going to happen. Like before, I didn't know they were panic attacks. I really thought they were things that were wrong with me. And I really do think that these physical symptoms that I feel when I'm having a panic attack, I really do feel like those things are wrong with me. But like in the back of my head, I at least know that, no, I have panic attacks. This is just what it is. Like, I can try to reason my way out of a panic attack, but that's probably one of the most difficult things in the world. Trying to reason your way out of a panic attack when you're alone is near impossible. Like, that's the goal. The goal is to reason it before it even becomes a panic attack, but it's just impossible. At least for me at this stage, it's impossible. So I'm sorry I get off topic, especially when I'm having anxiety, and now I'm coming off the tail end of a panic attack. It's just, your mind races. I have a million thoughts in my head. That's why I wrote stuff down, because I can't focus. It's really hard to focus. So yeah, I woke up, and my physical symptom that triggered the panic attack was my head was really, really hot. Like on fire. My head felt like it was on fire. And when I read about physical symptoms that really are issues, I think subconsciously focus on them and worry. Like yesterday, I was reading about aneurysms, and this is so horrible for anybody that has anxiety to read on the internet about medical issues, because it's like you convince yourself that's what's going on, and it makes just your whole issue a million times worse. But that's what I do. That's just what I do. There was this show on TV, this reality show about a hospital, and this woman had, I think, an aortic aneurysm. And of course, I thought, oh my God, what if I get that? And then I read on the internet, not that I recommend anyone doing this, but I read on the internet what it is and how you can prevent it and what are the symptoms, and just, so one of the symptoms are or maybe not for an aortic aneurysm, but I think for a blood clot, because I was also reading about this pulmonary embolism that I saw on a TV show that I'm worried about now. But one of the symptoms is when the skin gets really hot. And now this could totally be my irrational way of thinking, but I thought that, oh my God, I woke up and my head was hot. So I thought, oh my God, my brain is bleeding. I have an aneurysm, a blood clot. That was my reasoning that led me into a panic attack. And even just talking about it right now, I can kind of feel it happening again. So, yeah, so I woke up, my head was hot. I also do have acid reflux, so that contributes to, the hot head feeling, right here. It feels like, my throat is on fire. I've woke up the past couple weekends where I was coughing up acid. Not everybody that has panic attacks have acid reflux or anything. It's just these things trigger panic attacks for me. So yeah, so I woke up, my head was hot, for whatever reason it was hot, and immediately, within a minute, I just started into a full-blown on panic attack. And I knew that it was going to end up in a panic attack. I recognized it was coming on, but there was nothing that I could do to stop it. It's like you're on a cliff and you're just holding on by the thinnest string possible, and the chance of that breaking and you just falling off the cliff when you have panic disorder, it's so great that 9 times out of 10, for me at least, it just happens and I can't prevent the panic attacks from happening. To think about that, I don't know if I ever prevented a panic attack from happening. I wish I could, but I don't think that I can, at least not at this stage. I just can't. So my symptoms were, my head was hot, and then my whole body got hot. And I actually freaked out and called the doctor's office. I usually don't call the doctor's office because about 3 years ago, that is what I would do every time I had a panic attack. This is whenever I was diagnosed with panic disorder. I would call 911. I would call my doctor's office. I would end up going to the emergency room. So, it's like when you're told so many times that, there's nothing wrong with you, because even back then when all these things were happening to me, and I've said this in other videos, I know, but Just for anyone that's not familiar, I went through all that all the time back then. And when you're told so many times nothing's wrong with you, you almost give up on the medical system. I'm not recommending that, but I know that I kind of did, and I just felt like nobody could help me because nobody even recognized that I was having panic attacks. They didn't recognize that this was anxiety or anything. They just, they put me in the emergency room, hooked me up to a bunch of machines, and told me that there's nothing wrong with me and that they can't justify me staying in the hospital, so they have to send me home. And I actually begged them. I begged the hospital staff not to send me home because there was something wrong with me. And I really did think something was wrong with me back then, but ultimately it was, my anxiety disorders, but they didn't recognize that. They didn't say that, which just kind of makes me wonder, people that are just trained. I mean, there are a lot of times, there's a lot of people in the medical profession that are better than others, and I know that not everyone specializes in mental health issues, but if someone is swearing up and down there's something wrong with them, and if a medical professional knows that there is nothing really physically, quote unquote, wrong with you, I wonder why they wouldn't just think, oh, maybe this person has some kind of anxiety disorder. Like, I was never told that, ever. I was only told that, no, that was only suggested to me by one person in the ambulance, a paramedic. They said, do you have anxiety? And I said, no. And they said, oh, well, I think maybe you might have that. You might want to, get that checked out. And then I did, and then, yeah, I have that. So anyways, I'm sorry. See, I'm way off topic. So to recap, woke up, my head was hot. Then I got into full-blown panic attack. I got hot all over. I called my doctor's office, which I usually don't do. My stomach started hurting, dry mouth, heart palpitations. So yeah, classic signs of a panic attack. Now, my regular doctor, not family or yeah, sorry, my regular doctor, not my therapist or anything. I don't really have a therapist, but I'll talk about that in a minute too. My regular family doctor knows that I have this, and she has wanted to put me on medication now for a long time. And that's frustrating to me because I don't want to be on medication. I'm not saying people shouldn't be on medication, but me personally, that's just my choice. I don't want to be on medication. And every single doctor, therapist, etc. that I've been to just wants to throw me on medication. And in my opinion, and I know that there's medication that help people, and that's great. But for me, I get side effects from like any medication, and I just don't want to be on medication anyways because I feel like that's just a temporary solution to the real problem. I want to fix the root of the problem. I want to fix the problem. I don't want to mask it. I want to fix it. And I feel if I took medications, it would just be masking it. So anyways, this doctor that I see, even though I told her that I don't want to be on medications, every time I go in there, she tells me that I should be on medications, etc. But I haven't, and I didn't even take a prescription for them. But now, I mean, my opinion on it isn't changing. I still don't want to be on medications, but I feel like the potential of my panic attacks getting like off the charts. Like today, I would say my panic attack was about a 9, 8 or 9, which is pretty bad. But I feel like the potential of me having a panic attack that is completely off the charts, like an 11, like I feel like that could happen. That could definitely happen to me. And I feel like the times that it's just that bad, which it's been that bad, but I would say when it was that bad, it's been several years. I mean, it's just bad all the time. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's bad all the time. But I think the levels of panic attacks that I experience, sometimes they're greater than others. Yeah, I mean, today it was bad today, but it wasn't like, it wasn't crazy off the charts bad. So, 3 years ago, I was always calling the ambulance, etc., and they never helped me. And for some reason today, and I usually don't do this, but today I called my doctor's office as I was having a panic attack. See, probably because I wasn't thinking rationally, but I explained, my issue to them. I talked, of course, not to the doctor, but to just the staff, and I said, my doctor knows that I have this. She's wanted me to be on medication for a long time, and can you call me in something? And my thinking was, I don't necessarily want to be on anything, but if something gets really, really bad, maybe I can just take like a Xanax or whatever they prescribe. But only if it gets really bad. And I wouldn't want to take them all the time. And I'm not saying like that's the right way to do that. Always, follow doctor's instructions. But I have heard other people kind of just taking Xanax or something similar as they get the panic attack, which of course doesn't prevent the panic attack, but it helps the panic attack go away. So I just thought maybe I should have something, and considering I was having a panic attack when I called, I just wanted to get out of that as fast as possible, so I called. Like I said, other times I had panic attacks too, but I didn't call the doctor's office. I don't know why today was different. I mean, I'm alone in the home. I don't live alone. I'm just alone right now. I don't know. Maybe because my stress level's been really, really high lately, which doesn't necessarily give me panic attacks. Just because my stress level's high, I don't have panic attacks just because of that. I will say though that when my stress level is higher, the chance of a panic attack happening is a lot greater. Yeah, it's just horrible way to live. And, these videos are therapy for me. What has helped me the most is knowing that there are people out there that truly understand, people that experience the same things. That's what helps me. And I know I got into this a little bit earlier in the video, but basically every therapist wants to put me in with a psychiatrist who only sees you for like 10 minutes and just writes you a prescription. And I mean, I know psychiatrists are smart people, but I don't understand like how they get a full picture of you. I mean, it's just like they can write for medications. And like I personally know somebody that goes to a psychologist every week and sees a psychiatrist once every other month for medication. And the psychiatrist only sees the person for 5-10 minutes, writes them a script, and sends them outdoor. And I know that they know, what they're writing the script for, but I feel like, and I don't know if this exists, but if psychologists can talk to psychiatrists, I mean, that's probably what happens. They have the chart and they write the prescriptions and everything. But do psychiatrists ever see, like, on a weekly basis, kind of like, a psychologist does? I wonder that. I wonder if psychiatrists can actually, do therapy with you and also write medications. I'm going to look into that. Not that I would go to one personal opinion. But, yeah, I don't even know if that's possible. It just seems like a lot of times any doctor just wants to throw you on a medication and then just be done with you. But for me, I just want to get to the root of the problem. I want to fix what's really happening. I don't want to mask the symptoms. Plus, I have a very sensitive heart. I mean, I can't even drink caffeine. So these other medications that can possibly mess with your heart, like, I don't even want to take the chance, because to have that thought gives me that much more anxiety. So I feel like taking medication would make it worse, which makes me realize calling the doctor, even asking for medication, for me, is probably just ridiculous. I just did that because I was having a panic attack, my stress level has been high, etc. But I want to know what everyone does to either A, try to prevent panic attacks, which is the ultimate goal, or B, what to do to help yourself come down off a panic attack when you're experiencing them. Panic attacks for me usually last, I mean, the peak of the panic attacks, about 15 minutes for me. But I would say within an hour, the panic attack, like the tail end, everything goes away. But there have been times where the panic attack has just lasted hours and hours for me. And it exhausts you. It really just takes it all out of me. And I mean, right now I'm even more exhausted. I've been dealing with insomnia. I've always had insomnia. Don't take anything for it. But lately, I haven't even went to bed until about 9 o'clock in the morning, when I just literally pass out from exhaustion and can't go anymore. I cannot lay in bed and just fall asleep. Like, I know most people lay in bed, they relax, they kind of just let their mind drift, but that's impossible for me. I know it sounds easy, just like people that have panic attacks, or people that don't have panic attacks tell people that do have panic attacks, oh, just, calm down, just, it's all in your head, just relax. Like, you can't do that. That you can't, somebody that has panic disorder cannot do that. And I apologize, I tried to do this video a couple times, and I don't know if I've already explained this, so I apologize if I have, but panic attacks and panic disorder are two separate things. Just because you have panic attacks doesn't mean you have panic disorder. If you have panic disorder, you definitely have panic attacks. So the difference is panic attacks, not everyone, these lucky people, in my opinion, not everyone has experienced panic attacks, but the people that have panic attacks, it doesn't like ruin their life. Of course, when they're having it, it's just the worst thing, but it's not debilitating to them. Like, they can still live their normal lives and not worry about the next panic attack, etc. But people with panic disorder, me, you experience panic attacks. Not every day. I don't have panic attacks every day. I have them often. But basically, with panic disorder, I live in fear of the next panic attack. So I know that at any moment, for any reason, I can just have a panic attack. And like I said, that doesn't always happen, but it's so weird. It just happens at random. And I hate it. And the worst, when it happened to me years ago, the worst thing was when it happened to me at work. And when you have a panic attack, it's like a fight or flight response, and you just want to escape and leave whatever situation you're in. It's like I just need to get away for some reason. Like, that's just, like, I don't consciously think that. It's just something that happens. So, yeah. And it happened at work, and, in the middle of my shift, literally, in the middle of my work shift, I just got up and left. Freaking out, panic attack, full blown. Actually drove to my doctor's office, who said that they're busy and they can't see me right away, and I was still freaking out, and I don't even know how I drove. I don't recommend driving having a panic attack. I just had no other choice. And then the ambulance came and got me and ended up going to the emergency room years ago. But anyways, this is when I was working, and it became so debilitating that I can't even work anymore. There are people that have panic disorder that can work, but I just think that there's different levels of everything. Different levels of panic attacks, different levels of maybe panic disorder. I don't know for sure if that's true, but I mean, I think it's true, because there have been people that have told me they have panic disorder, but they can still work, and I want to work. I do want to work. I feel like a loser. I make $0. I mean, why would anyone want to live like this? I don't want to live like this. I feel like I'm intelligent enough. I have a college education. I want to make something of myself. I want to live in a place bigger than a one-bedroom apartment. I mean, I want all those things for myself. And it really, really hurts that I can't work. Like, it's not, like I said, there are some people that can. But just the thought of working again and burning yet another bridge. I mean, pretty soon I'm going to run out of places that I can apply to, because nobody's going to want to ever even hire me back, because I just abandon jobs. When I have a panic attack, I just get up and walk out. And, I mean, what am I going to say to the employer? Oh, I had a panic attack, so I completely abandoned the job. And they're going to say, oh, well, that's okay, just come back. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, you don't walk out of a job with no explanation. Because when you're having a panic attack, you're not in your rational mind, so it's not like you can go up to your boss and say, oh, you know, I'm experiencing a panic attack, and this is what it is, and I have panic disorder, so is it okay if I go home and then they think about, like, no, like, that's not the way it works. And, you know, you get fired. I got fired. Well, I guess I kind of quit, but then I got fired. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but basically I had a panic attack. I left the job, and, you know, it developed into panic disorder, and, you know, just so fearful of the next time it was going to happen, it literally made me call off work a lot. And then, you know, so of course I you know, called off, and wasn't going in a lot, and ultimately got fired. So I'm not saying it wasn't justified, but it just sucks that I can't work. Like, I feel like I can't make anything of myself. I feel like a loser. I feel horrible. I wish there was a work-at-home job. I would definitely do a work-at-home job, and I've looked into that, but there's nothing that I've come across, at least, that's actually legitimate. There's a lot of scams out there, and, you know, work from home, just pay X amount of dollars, and we'll tell you how maybe you can do it. Just, no. So, I see that this video is almost a half an hour long, so if anyone's actually watched this, please comment, join the Facebook support group that I've created, and this video has really helped me come down off a panic attack. I would say right now my level is a 2. So, yay. Thanks for watching, and thank you for everybody that gives you very supportive comments. There are a lot of people out there. They're just all over the world, and I really, really appreciate it. Your comments really do help me, so please comment and please subscribe. Thanks.